Hi guys, Blake here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful upper Lake Taneycomo. It is one of the days of October, Thursday, and I think it's the 7th. It is the 7th. And I'm going to do the one cast for you today. So today I've boated up here. I'm right below the cable. My spot lock keeps trying to take me above the cable. They were running 3 units. It looks like they're starting to drop it. Got about a foot of drop on the bank now, so I want to get to fishing here real quick. I've got a 3 32nd ounce sculpin and ginger jig with a sculpin head on 2-pound line. I'm going to set on spot lock here for just a second. Fish into this corner, see if we can get any action. A beautiful day today. It got up to about 79, maybe 80 degrees. Not humid. Let's see, however, the fishing reports were slow all the way around the board, even for the guides. This morning, no fish on the first cast. This morning, Phil and I met Leonard Kinney up here and fished some of his sculpin flies. You kind of target the fish with those, throw it out 15 foot in front of them and hope they see it and come after it. Obviously they're pretty keen in on the sculpins, and that's a good meal for them. So lots of chasers. Had a few hookups. I landed 2 and had 2 other ones on. There's a fish. I think Phil landed 2 fish. One of them was about a 22-inch rainbow. Beautiful, big, beautiful male. There is a nice 13 or 14 incher. I caught one of the fish I caught was a brown. He was a little guy, and I lost a big one. And I think Leonard caught a few, 2 or 3. So it wasn't too bad. But for the number of people that were fishing up here at the dam this morning, I didn't see a whole lot of fish getting hooked up with. So slow report on that. And then Dwayne told me that the first hour of their bite this morning on the pink power worm was good, about 20 fish or so, something like that. And then he said for the next 3 hours they barely boated any fish at all. And I didn't get to talk to many of the other guides, but I heard similar things about those trips. All the boats that came back in today reported catching 1 to 2 fish or none at all. And overall, just a slow day. I was supposed to bring the oxygen meter up here with me to test the see how much oxygen was coming out while they were generating water like that. And I totally forgot it in a hurry to get out here and get the one cast done. So I guess we won't get to find that out today. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and come off spot lock and start drifting down the bluff here. Sometimes you can set spot locked in this eddy corner and let your jig swing and jig it, and if they're stacked up in there, sometimes that works pretty good. I can still create a little bit of a swing by periodically touching the trolling motor pedal and slowing the boat down. Sometimes that swing is just what they're looking for. Especially in those eddy pockets where you got a seam line where water's going faster than the other water. Stuff will get caught in it and just kind of swing through the current. Oh, that might have been a bite. We're supposed to run this 3 units until the last hour, 6 o'clock. I think they're turning it back down to about 1 3/4 or so, about 80 megawatts. And then by 8 o'clock, the water is supposed to be off again. Targeting those fish this morning with the sculpin pattern was a lot of fun. It's kind of a sight fishing game. You get to watch them come and chase after it, and to me, I was throwing that thing 15 or 20 foot in front of some of those fish, and you could see them go from where they were at all the way to it. Now, some of them didn't bite it, some of them did, and I just didn't know how to set the hook, but they definitely a fun way to come up here and fish when the water's off. I've got the J's with me today, the jigs and jerk baits. Once we get down into the skinnier water, I think I'm going to break out a sculpin jerk bait and see if we can get one of those big boys enticed. I don't know if I've got to give a report on the one cast about a few nights ago. So I can't remember, 2 nights ago, came out with a buddy, Rob Dickerson, and ooh, that was a good bite. He fished jerk baits the whole time, which was actually a really good bite that night, just in general. But I tried something I had never tried before. I tried a lighted indicator. It is a foam float with a little glow stick that is designed to go into the float. And I put a mega worm on underneath the float and cast it out there and watched and waited for the little glow stick to start dancing. And you know, I had heard some stuff about glow stick fish indicator fishing, but I'd never tried it myself, and I wound up catching a ton of fish. Probably one of the best night fishing nights on numbers of fish that I've had in a long time, in at least a month or two. But it was very effective. We were in the boat that night, so we didn't fish up here, but I have heard of the indicator, lighted indicator fishing up here waiting, and or from a boat, but obviously you can't really get a boat up here at night right now with the water being off. And it was very effective once you learned how to pay attention to that indicator, because they weren't really pulling the indicator under. It's kind of a big indicator to hold up that little glow stick, but you just see the point of it go from a little point to standing up a little bit, or you'd see it start moving left or right, and that was when to set the hook. And a lot of fun. I've heard of guys coming up here at night kind of close to the outlets and throwing some bigger scuds on an indicator on one of those lighted indicators and catching fish. How those trout see a little scud at night, I have no idea, but apparently it's a thing. The mega worm is obviously a pretty big profile fly. If I had a fish or if I had the bottom, but I'm gonna say I had a fish. I have no moss on there. Something I've noticed even when they kick the water on in the afternoons is that we're not getting quite as much moss trash. The water's staying a little clearer after they turn it on, so that's kind of helpful for the fishing aspect of things. However, we are getting to that time of the year where the leaves are going to start really trashing the water every day. I've noticed that rainstorm that we had the other day has knocked quite a few branches off some trees. I didn't realize it got quite that violent, but definitely did some damage. There's a few spots on the lake where there's some new sticks coming up out of the water. I'm gonna go ahead. We're kind of getting on the flat that goes to the front of the island. I'm gonna put my jig away for a second and we're gonna switch to a signature series jerkbait, the Sculpin. That little guy right there. As I was saying before, like with the Sculpin flies, they like Sculpins. It's kind of like the difference between eating asparagus to fill you up or eating steak. Those Sculpins are like steak to a trout. So I'm just, you know, with this much water running, the 762, which is the model I'm using right now, doesn't get down but about 3 feet. So I waited till I got down here on this shallower flat. Woo! There went Captain Dwayne Doty. Got a night fishing trip tonight. But I wait until I get to these shallower spots. Oh, that was a hit. Okay. I've also done a lot of wading here at night, and I know that I've seen quite an excess of Sculpins on the on this flat here in front of the island. And here in a second, I'm going to scoot across to below outlet 2 and work that rock bank down. Anywhere where you've got some good rock structure you will find the sculpin fish. Matter of fact, if you're ever looking to catch some sculpins, just like even at our resort right there on that rock bank, in between those big rocks, you can just take a little tiny hook with a piece of night crawler and drop it down right next to the edge of the rocks, and you can usually catch some sculpins that way. Okay. So I don't see anybody fly fishing here on the bank. This bank, for me, has produced some pretty big fish, and it's one of those spots where it seems like the brown trout like to hang out. So we're gonna try our hand at this for a second. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, he came off. That was just a little baby rainbow, but there's another fish. Oh my gosh, I lost him again. That's 2 in a row. They're liking that little sculpin coming off the bank over there. I think this spot right here on this bank, my first ever Signature Series rainbow I painted. I brought it up here. I started fishing just above outlet 2 down this bank. And about right here, the very first fish I caught on it was a 23.5-inch rainbow. So if you've ever watched a sculpin fish, they dart around on the bottom from rock to rock, little quick spurts. That's how we were working those sculpin flies this morning. Just trying to make it look like a sculpin darting from rock to rock. One of the best things you can always do is just imitate exactly how the food source works, or match the hatch, as they like to say. If I wanted to get a little closer to the bottom, I'd put on one of the 606s. It goes about 5 foot. However, I didn't have any with me. You know, usually when they say they're gonna run 3 units or whatever, they usually don't actually run a full 3, but I think they ran a full 3 units today. staircase now, right above outlet 3. This is another one of those nice shallow rocky spots where I've seen a lot of sculpin fish hanging out. It's also got kind of an interesting little ledge and drop here. It's a spot where I've seen a lot of big fish hanging out at. Oh, I got touched. Once I get into shallow enough water, I'll start raising the rod tip on my jerk bait. Instead of downward motions, I give it upward motions, kind of try to keep it fully out of the gravel. But it's not a bad thing if your sculpin bait is banging through the gravel, because once again, that's how they get around. It just means you might lose one. Oh, there was a big fish down there. So I was talking about the lighted indicator with the mega worm. I was using a fly rod, but I only ever fished it about 3 foot deep. I think it's just very possible that you could easily, at that kind of depth, use a spin cast rod as well. And I think that that little glow stick might have just enough weight in it to allow you to cast okay. I'm actually going to try it on spin cast rods tonight with some friends. So I guess I'll let you guys know how well that works. Come on, big boy. I know there's just one of you out there. Oh, that almost felt like a bite. If anyone was curious on this jerk bait, when I'm retrieving it in this fashion, I use the 6-pound Trilene XL or the Maxima 6-pound. I think on this rod I have the Maxima, but I use either one of them. Oh! I can't tell if that was moss or a bite. That was moss. Outlet 4, which is just a drain pipe in the north bank over there, is what we're going by right now. Oh my gosh, that was a big brown trout. It just came completely out of the water right next to the boat. Just about 150 foot below the drain pipe there, where this big sycamore is down in the water, is where the big hole starts. Oh, come on, brown trout, hit it. This time of the year in the mating run, from what I understand, those brown trout will jump full bore out of the water, and it is to break up the egg sac or the sperm cells in the stomach. Kind of interesting. I just learned that one not too long ago. You don't have to give this bait very big jerks, just a lot of little twitches. Oh, hey, there's a good bite. I was just getting ready to reel this in and give up on it. Come on, be a brown trout. Nope, but it's a nice rainbow. And I don't have any pliers with me. Good job, trout. There is a nice rainbow. Oh yeah, perfect coloration in my opinion. Oh my goodness. He is a firecracker. Okay, it's alright. Oh my gosh. Ow. He really doesn't want any camera time. There's very pretty rainbow. And I'm actually seeing some good action down this bluff. A few more of those browns are jumping down below me, and they're kind of in closer, shallower water. Might have a chance at them here. This bluff is definitely my favorite one to fish with a jerk bait. Versus the south side. So I've talked about it before, but the if you're looking to just catch numbers on a jerkbait, or you don't care which species, that longer pause tends to attract the rainbows. Kind of in between the action. That rainbow I just caught, I had paused and was thinking about just reeling it in, and he happened to hit it. I would definitely have to say that the browns are moving up. I'm seeing quite a few of them jump out of the water now. There's another fish. Oh, it is amazing to me how they can let go or get off of those hooks. Just amazing. I can't even pick it up without it getting stuck in my shirt or my finger. That was another healthy 18-inch rainbow there. I saw him come up and whack the jerk bait 10 foot away from the boat. Oh no, I don't want to go squirrel fishing with this. Got a good midge hatch going on right now in front of me. Probably be decent drifting a midge a couple foot under a float right in this area. Well, that's one fish landed on the jerk bait, 3 fish on but got off. One on a jig. It's not too bad. I don't know what the oxygen levels are, but I'd say that they're doing a little better. Let me go to the end of the boat ramp here. I don't know how I'm doing on time, but the bite is actually a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. I kind of thought I was going to come out here and get skunked today. You guys have ever been out here fishing and wondered why the midges will stack above your head? It's because they utilize the carbon dioxide that we produce whenever we exhale, and that is what attracts them to right above your head. Another little interesting note. Oh yeah, there's another one. Gosh, look at him. He's an aggressive little guy. Oh, he popped off. That is just crazy to me. Okay. 4 fish halfway into the boat. He was so little, I'm surprised he got the treble hook in his mouth in the first place. About 75 yards left. Alright, well, we have made it to the boat ramp, and I think this is where I'm going to end the video today. Oh, what a beautiful sunset. And we thank you guys for watching. Like and share us on Facebook. And we will be out here to do it again tomorrow. I gotta get a picture of that. Thanks, guys.